Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me begin by saying I've been to church with Chairman Harris. I've walked the streets of his district with him. I've spent time with him in the Capitol. And now I've spent some time here at Lincoln with him. And it's pretty amazing that the themes he spoke about today, real opportunity, real freedom, real liberation, you can hear that in his remarks wherever he is. He's a true champion of those things, and he's someone who fights for you and fights for freedom and liberty and opportunity no matter what stage he stands on. And I'm proud to be his friend, I'm proud to be his colleague, and you should know that Chairman Harris works his tail off for you every day, and he delivers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it. Thank you. I want to thank all of the leaders who are here with us today. The husband of Cheryl Lee Ralph, Senator Hughes, is with us.
The proud husband.
Proud husband. And I love that Senator Hughes not only works hard to deliver the resources across this Commonwealth, but he's always investing in the next generation of leaders. That's true. And that matters, because he recognizes, as Chairman Harris alluded to in his remarks, that our time on this stage is always just going to be temporary, and we always have to be thinking about that next generation of leaders, and Chairman Hughes does that every day. He's a dear friend, and he's a great leader, and we appreciate you so very much. Thank you. And I must say, while neither one of them have the privilege of representing this community, literally this community, Senator Committa sure does, and she does a hell of a job as your state senator. Thank you, Senator Committa. There's three numbers that matter in Harrisburg if you want to get anything done. That's right. 102, 26, and 1. That's right. Y'all have been through your civics lessons, but for those of you who maybe don't remember that lesson, I'll remind you. It takes 102 votes in the House, 26 votes in the Senate, and a signature of one governor to get anything done. That's right. And so when you do that work, you can't just rely on the two chairman of the Appropriations Committee or the senator that happens to represent the particular district very ably. You got to build a broad coalition. It should be lost on no one that the chairman of the Legislative Black Caucus, whose job it is to help build those coalitions, joins us here today. He's not from this district, not even from this county. He's my neighbor in Montgomery County, yet he joins us here today. That says a lot about the reach of Lincoln. Representative Napoleon Nelson. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. And when it comes to building coalitions, one of our newest members has acknowledged the importance of education in a whole bunch of different ways. He joins us here today, and he's already emerging as a strong leader when it comes to educating the next generation. That's Representative Greg Scott of Montgomery County. Thank you. Thank you. And I, of course, want to thank President Allen for having me back today. I want you to know, President Allen, it was a high honor for me to receive an honorary degree from you just a few months ago, and I had the privilege of addressing the graduates here at Lincoln in what was my first commencement address as your 48th governor. I wanted to be here at Lincoln to deliver that. I'm very proud to have that degree sitting on the shelf right behind me in my office at the governor's residence for all to see. It makes me feel a little smarter when people walk in the office to know that I have that honorary degree behind me. Thank you. It was really an honor for me to follow in the footsteps of great leaders and history makers who have spoken to Lincoln graduates in the past. Leaders like the great Booker T. Washington, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and others who talked about the debt our nation owes to this university and these graduates. They were right. When I spoke here in May, I vowed to you that as your governor, I would work to help pay down that debt. And today is one of those down payments on that debt we owe you. Today I come back with my colleagues to sign a bill into law that funds Lincoln University with an increase in their funding of more than 21%. The millions of dollars extra that will flow to Lincoln University means that you can continue to do the important work that you do every day under President Allen's leadership, to fund scholarships for students, to recruit and pay professors that students rely on, and to bring on additional support for staff and for students. That's more money for Lincoln to train the next generation of leaders. Leaders, I must say, we desperately need in our society right now. It should be lost on no one that Lincoln is one of 4 state-related institutions in this Commonwealth, along with the aforementioned Pitt, Penn State, and Temple. And I must tell you, Lincoln is the only university to receive an increase of that amount in this year's budget. At a time when our nation and our world are facing significant challenges, where we see hyperpolarization in our communities, I think it's more important now than ever before that we have people from all different walks of life, all different perspectives, getting in the game and doing their part. As I said back in May when I stood on the graduation stage, I know Lincoln University students are up to that challenge because you've already done it, you're already doing it, and as Chairman Harris said, you've been doing it for generations. Just a few weeks ago, Mackenzie, Drake, and their fellow Lincoln students, the Freedom 14, the Fab 14, whatever you want to call them, they marched 66 miles to the Capitol, to Harrisburg, to demand action by the General Assembly, to righteously demand action by the General Assembly to pass this crucial funding. And I must say that the leadership that all of you have shown, that Mackenzie has shown, by the way, Mackenzie's going to change the world, right? She really is. And man, I don't know if, Drake, if you're going to be a preacher or a politician, but whatever you do, you're going to be damn good at it.
That's right.
And I must say, Drake, I thank you not only for the leadership that you've shown here, but I want you to know I vowed when I got elected governor to listen to voices from all across this Commonwealth, including young voices, who always seem to get asked for their vote, but never seem to get a seat at the table of progress when it comes time to governing. And I want you to know that I appointed Drake to represent you on my advisory commission for next generation engagement, not just as a member, but as the co-chair of that group, to help advise me in the work I do. And Drake's making a difference, and so's Mackenzie, so are all of you, and you're living out the creed here at Lincoln University, a place that defines leadership. That advocacy that you provide is just one more example of how your motto here at Lincoln obviously extends far beyond your academic career and far beyond the walls of this fine institution. Learn, liberate, lead. You've heard it said many times before. Literally, your motto is a call to action. And as Drake and Mackenzie and your fellow classmates have shown, that is clearly how you live life every day. This university has a proud legacy that each of you are now a part of, a legacy of educating leaders who fight for their communities. And with that legacy comes a real responsibility, a responsibility for you and a responsibility for all of us. You see, it is our collective responsibility as residents of this great Commonwealth to ensure that that legacy lives on for generations to come. Because as a state-related university, Lincoln has a special relationship with our Commonwealth. Your trustees know that. They work on that every day. We, the Commonwealth, invest in your success, and in return, we get graduates who are ready to lead, who are ready to liberate, who are ready to bring about real freedom and real opportunity, not just for themselves, but for others across our Commonwealth. I want you to hear from me that I believe we need to protect that pathway and ensure that it remains open for all who want to pursue it, especially at Pennsylvania's HBCUs. You see, HBCUs like Lincoln play a critical role in our system of higher education. For nearly 2 centuries, HBCUs have helped ensure that the doors of opportunity are open for all. And now, they continue to drive academic excellence here and across the nation. That's true here at Lincoln, and it's true at Cheney. I know you're going to put a hurting on them later tonight. Please don't tell them I said that, if you don't mind. Cheney is also a critical part of our Commonwealth's PASHE system, a system that educated the likes of Chairman Jordan Harris at Millersville University. I believe there is a statue erected to him there if you want to check it out. I'm pleased to say that Cheney also got a funding boost this year, nearly $1.4 million, representing a 7% increase over last year. And I thank the members of the legislature for that. I think it's important to note that here in the Commonwealth, in a divided government, I'm the only governor in the nation with a divided legislature. One house led by Republicans, one house led by Democrats. Yet we were able to come together to invest in our HBCUs. And I want you to hear from me loud and clear today, that is just the beginning of our commitment to HBCUs here in this Commonwealth. When I gave my budget address last March, I spoke about the fact that we need to rethink our system of higher education. I tasked our great education secretary, Dr. Mameen, the gentleman who towers above Senator Hughes and me and everybody else here on this stage. Dr. Mameen, a product of our schools here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I asked him to convene this working group made up of higher education leaders from all across this Commonwealth to help us do this important work. And it was important to me to have the voices of HBCUs in that conversation, along with our state-related and other higher education institutions. And I want you to hear this. We have been blessed to have Dr. Allen around the table, to have her insight, to have her focus as a member of that group. And so when she hops in her car and drives to Harrisburg and isn't on campus for a few hours, you need to know she is doing important work on behalf of all of you and this Commonwealth, and we are the beneficiaries of your insights. Thank you very, very much. With Dr. Allen's input and that of others, we have been able to gather from her, from lawmakers, from other stakeholders. I want you to know that my administration is now in a position to soon release a new vision for higher education here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A vision that is focused on competitiveness, on workforce development, and grounded in access and affordability. I pointed at Dr. Allen because she is constantly talking, correctly so, about the need to have access in our system. You see, I believe Pennsylvania should be a place where everyone, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love or who you pray to, that you should have the freedom to chart your own course and the opportunity to succeed. And for some, that means a higher education system, but one that works for them. And we are going to do everything we can to lift up college students, our colleges and universities, and especially our HBCUs through this important process. I look forward to speaking more about this over the coming weeks and months and building on the kind of investments that we are making here at Lincoln, which will come with the signature on that document. I believe the future is bright for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I believe it is bright for higher education. And part of my optimism, my hope, is because of the 14 students and the others who join us here who give me that hope, who tell everyone out there who will listen that there is greatness here at Lincoln. There is greatness inside of them, and that greatness is what's going to help push us forward as a Commonwealth and as a country. I want you to know I view Lincoln as a critical part of the future of this Commonwealth. I'll continue to come back as long as the President invites me. We'll continue to make investments here, and we will continue to lean on every Lincoln student and graduate for real leadership, bringing real freedom and real opportunity all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you all very much for being with us today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now listen, in order for Drake to get his check, I got to sign that document there. So we're going to come do that together. is our funding bill. It's got one name and one name on it, but it had a whole lot of people pushing behind it. That is Chairman Harris's name on here. And so I am honored to be here at Lincoln to sign it. I'll be signing it with the pen of the governor, and I'll be delivering this to Chairman Harris as an appreciation for the important work he did to get us here. It's important for you all to know now, if Chairman Harris signs any other piece of paper, it becomes law with this pen.
Don't tempt me, wait a minute.
Go see him after class here, all right? Here we go.
All right.
Keep smiling, Drake. All right.